What's Gucci YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I'm here today with the review for Pose Season number 2, Episode number 7, and the episode was titled Below. Oh, huh, I got it now. Why it was called Below. But you guys, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and just jump right into tonight's video. Alright, you guys, so the episode, it opened and we see Damon. Damon is at the YMCA and he's teaching one of his classes. Now, in this class, the class is, very, very empty. It's not a lot of people in there. And, then the boss comes in and she gives Damon his paycheck. So he's like, oh, he's expecting a big paycheck. And then he opens it. He's like, oh, this is barely going to be enough for just, bus fare. And she's like, yeah, unfortunately, the craze for, Vogue has died down. The white people, they'll come visit, but they won't come and live. So, she asked him, she was like, we might just have to, cut the Vogue class altogether. And, she said, would you be interested in doing, the Can't Touch This dance? He's like, Hamilton? She was like, yeah, again, ballroom, well, not ballroom, but voguing, it ain't the mood. And the people are just not here for it. So then at the ball, we see them and, Pray Tell tells them the category is realness. Bring it like a lady at brunch. So then, Pray Tell, he looks around and, he notices that Ricky is in the crowd and Ricky looks like he's down. And he tells, everybody in the ballroom, he's like, hey, I know that, Vogue has kind of came and gone, but don't get down on it. Like, ballroom is here to stay. Yeah, the looky-loos, they've moved on, but, eventually the looky-loos will come back. And, I understand what he was saying. And it's like what we all say, cultural appropriation. It's like people like the Kardashians with the big booties, the big breasts, the cornrows, calling them the Bo Derricks. And then also, if you guys saw in the news last week, the white lady that took, what black people have been wearing for years, the bonnet, and, called it a nightcap and sold it for $95, not knowing that, you can buy that shit in Walmart, the beauty supply store, but she marked it up for $95. And then, she issued an apology on Twitter. Well, not Twitter, but I think it was Instagram. Like, do you not do fucking research? But, that's basically, what Pray was trying to say was he knew it was going to happen. They don't want to listen, but he's not going to beat them while they down. But again, ballroom is still here to stay. So, just because they've moved on doesn't mean we have. All right, so next we see Blanca. She is at the crib. She's talking to Pray Tell. And, she's telling Pray Tell about how pissed off she is because after the protest, Federico went and told Page 6 that, that they were out there and they threw condoms and hypodermic needles in the gutter. And Blanca's just upset about her because of how evil she is. And, Pray Tell's like, yeah, she's evil, but she's smart at the same time. So, you can't really hate on that too much. So then, she starts to tell Pray Tell about what's going on with Lulu. She's talking about how she saw Lulu at the club and Lulu was pale. And she was like, Lulu said that she's not doing drugs. She's just, I think she said dehydrated, or she's not drinking a lot of water. And, she said even if she's not doing drugs, something is seriously wrong with that girl. And then she said, Damon, since he's not having any people down at the YMCA, he sleeps until noon. And then Ricky, he ain't no better because Ricky, he sits here all day drinking wine coolers and, watching TV. So then we see those two in the living room watching TV. And you got not Damon, but you got Ricky with his hand in his pants. And then I noticed he took his hand out of his pants and he went like that. I said, nigga. So, she's just telling them, like, y'all need to get up, do something. Clean a dish, clean up, do something. And Damon gets in his feelings because, he's like, ballroom, Vogue is not the it thing anymore. And, like, you could be a little bit more sympathetic. Nah, nigga, what you could be is at the, unemployment line trying to find a motherfucking job. Like, these bills are not gonna pay themselves. So figure something out. And then, Damon storms out and she tells Ricky, nigga, get your ass up, do something. Like, the fuck? So then, Pray Tell's talking about how when he moved to New York City, there were elders there that helped them, and they were able to uplift and make them feel better. So Blanca's like, okay, so where are the elders? He said, bitch, you're looking at them. She said, I am not an elder. Well, technically, you might not want to be an elder, Blanca, but you are elder to those kids because those kids look up to you. And what do most kids do? Look up to their elders. So, whether you like it or not, Blanca, you're an elder, my love. So then Pray Tell tells her, hey, I got something in mind for him. So then we see, they have Ricky, Damon, and Lulu. They have them together. And, they're telling them that they're going to teach them a little bit about resilience and that they have a job for them. They're like, oh, how much does this pay? They're like, it don't pay shit, but it'll help you get your ass up off that couch, off the dirty ass floor at the club, and whatever y'all doing, it'll help y'all self-esteem. So what they want them to do is they want them to travel to upstate New York, and they want them to wrap a house in a condom. And they like, how are we gonna do that? They were like, well, that's why we're having you do it, because you have to figure it out. So, and they were like, well, whose house are we doing? She was like, it's Federica's house. She's like, I was thinking it could be 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm like, smart move, Blanca. Smart move. All right, you guys, so I did forget to mention that they had only a week to get this together. So then we see them, they're trying to brainstorm some ideas. Only person at this point that had some ideas was Ricky, whose ideas sounded stupid as shit. He was talking about wrapping 1,000 condoms together and wrapping 1,000 whatever, so I guess saran wrap in the house that they got. And I'm like, that's not going to be big enough, number one. Like, you need to figure out the measurements of the house. You need to figure out the length of the house. You need to find out the width of the house. That way, you can formulate a better plan than what you're coming up with. So then, Candy, not Candy, but Lulu starts to cry because she calls herself stupid. She's talking about Candy was the one that took care of her. So, Damon gives her a pep talk and tells her, no, you're not stupid. You're really, really smart. So then, Ricky, he has another bright idea. This bright idea was to take one of his condoms and put it around the house. I'm like, again, Ricky, this is stupid. You're a condom. So, if you wore a Magnum, if you wore a Trojan, was Magnum around? Yeah, Magnum was around in the 90s. If you wore any of those condoms, that's too small for a house, my nigga. And, Damon says, we're not trying to wrap a dollhouse. And I'm like, was that supposed to be shade at him? Because if it was, it wasn't really good shade. So then Lulu comes up with the idea. What they need to do is they need to reach out to someone who makes like the inflatable, bounce house that you see kids jumping in for birthday parties, and have them create the condom for them. So now they have to do what I just said. They have to go find out the length and the width of the house in order to let the playhouse people know what to build. So then we do see them at Frederica's, and they're getting the dimensions, and then we see Lulu. Lulu went to Electra to ask Electra for the money, and Electra's like, absolutely not. Like, I am a single mother. I have children to feed, and I have bills to pay. And I'm like, oh, okay, if you say so, Electra. But Lulu played up very well to Electra, because we all know how vain Electra is. And she was like, at the ball, when you was dressed up as Marie Antoinette, nobody was able to really just, marvel in what you did with that birdcage. Oh my God, that was everything. And Electra was like, yes, nobody ever was able to get, the grasp of it because of Pray Tell reading me. Yeah, he read the fuck out of you. And that is what Lulu played upon. She was like, yeah, Pray Tell read you. She's like, because, you didn't go to the AIDS protest. I can't remember. I wrote it down in my notes, and I forgot what the name of it was. But, the AIDS protest that they had. She says, so, to get back in the good graces of everyone, what you can do is give me the money for this balloon, and that way it'll make you look like the good Samaritan, like you're helping the kids. So, she does give Lulu $1,000, and she tells her, "I'm giving you $1,000, but you have to earn the rest of the money." So then she has an outfit for Lulu to put on, and we see her and Lulu, and they go in there with one of her clients, and she's like, she's gonna do it for you, but it's double what you normally pay. I'm like, oh, double. So then they just start whipping his ass. I'm like, well, damn. I just could not be into no shit. That's just some shit of which I could not be into. Like, I'm into a lot of stuff, but them whips, the paddles, I'm just not. It's just not something that I can get with. I didn't even like getting a paddling when I was a kid. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. So as an adult, I can't imagine that I would still at this point like it. So that would be a hard end to the O for me. Very hard no for me. So we're gonna move on. All right, you guys. So next we got Angel. So we see Angel. She done made her man Poppy some breakfast in bed because she said that she heard Poppy come in the night before late. So she's telling him about this club that Miss Ford is sending her to, so that way she can I guess network with people. And Angel says that she feels fake, and Poppy's like, "Why do you feel fake?" She's like, "Cause she's in a room full of people who she feels doesn't know. She feels like they see a pretty bitch, but they don't know the real her." And Poppy tells her, "Well, they don't need to know the real you." And then Angel is just so worried about the fact that they'll find out who she is. And again, Poppy's just kind of reassuring her that no one is gonna find out who you are, or what you are, or what you were. Past and present tense. So, and he just uplifts her. He tells her, big things are going to happen for her. So then the phone rings, and she goes to answer the phone, and it's Miss Ford on the phone. So, she gets off of the phone, and she tells Poppy she's going to be the next, the new BB girl. Don't know what BB is. Actually, I think I do know what BB is. I think I know what it is. Not positive, but I think I know what it is. So Poppy's like, "Hey, we got to go out. We got to celebrate." She's like, "Okay, but only if you come out as my boyfriend." I'm like, "Oh, look at Angel and Poppy." So we see Angel and Poppy, and they go to the club. And Angel's like, "Poppy, no pickpocketing, okay?" He's like, "I'm not sure if I can promise that, but we'll see what we can do." So then Angel is intercepted by someone that she knows. His name is Mario, and he gives them both glasses of champagne, and he tells them, "Hey, come to VIP with me." So they go up to VIP, and when they get to VIP, we notice that on the table, the people are doing coke. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Please don't let them do coke." So Poppy is like, don't want to do it. He's like, "This is primo shit. This is primo shit." I'm like, for me, I would have been like, "You know what? It can stay primo shit. It can stay primo shit right on that table. You sniff it. I'm Gucci. I don't want to sniff that. Only thing you can give me is some weed. That'll be about it." You know what? I have thought about some. Gonna shut up. No, I'm not gonna shut up. Yes, I am. But yeah, um, you know, yeah, I only really want to do weed. That's all I want to do. Me and my friends talked about because I'm thinking back when the the um the Hangover was still out when it took the pills of ecstasy. I've always just been curious about that, just a little bit, like what they experienced in the movie. I just want to know what they experienced. I just wonder what they experienced because they had a hell of a night and they didn't remember it. Just always wonder what that experience is like. Not saying that I'm going to try it. Definitely not saying that. But so Poppy's like, "Hey, let's go to the bathroom right quick." So when they go to the bathroom, Poppy still doesn't want to do it, but Angel's trying to, Angel is coercing him into doing it, talking about it's like, they talking about like is medicine is great like a medicine, and I'm like, it's still cocaine, like it's drugs, like I just don't understand. I can understand cocaine a lot more than I can crack, cause crack ain't, well no, that's heroin that you inject in you. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't like needles. So I definitely couldn't stick no needle in me. And with crack, I just couldn't. The pipe and the crack rock. It just no, None of that sounds appeasing to me. Um, where am I at? What am I talking about? Oh, so yeah, she talked him into doing it, and they go out there and they do it. I'm like, fuck, why, why did y'all succumb to that? Like, is that how it was in the '90s? Like for people who were in it, I mean, I think it's still like that today. People in the industry, they like, why would you want to? Like, what forces people to want to do cocaine, crack, heroin? I just don't understand what could possess you to want to do hard ass drugs like that. That just is interesting to me. Now, before they even went to the bathroom, there was a chick there that was trying to shake the fuck out of Angel. I'm like, oh, you feeling froggy, bitch? I would told her, look her, bitch. You feeling froggy? Jump, ho. Jump. But she wouldn't have. And we're gonna move on. Shit, I forgot to mention. So, we did see them, and they were in bed with each other, and they was doing a nasty. Why is this? Why did my stool have to creak? It's, I'm goofy as fuck. I'm sorry, y'all. But in the middle of them having, I'm gonna stop. In the middle of them doing it, they both say, "I love you" to one another. I'm like, ah. I'm like, I wonder if they really mean. I mean, I know they mean it, but I wonder if they mean it in the moment because they are high and drunk as fuck. So it might just be the adrenaline rushing. But I know they love each other. But God, you just kind of wonder, like, y'all are high as fuck and y'all are drunk. So is it the adrenaline and the endorphins running high in your body? Like, just curious. All right, so then we see Prey, Electra, Blanca, Nurse Judy. I think that was Judy's girlfriend, Damon, Ricky, and Lulu. We see them all, and they're at a motel. And this is a motel that, ACT UP, that was the name of the protest group, that they were able to afford on top of this $10.99 van that they rented, which looked like a piece of shit, to be honest with you. So, Electra's old bougie ass, she don't want to stay there. And they were like, well, bitch, this is all that we could afford. So, bitch, you got to make do with what you got. So then we see Damon, we see Praytel, and we see Ricky. They are all in the same room together. Praytel got his own bed, so that leaves Ricky and Damon to share a bed with each other. And Damon's like, I'm not sharing a bed with him. He's like, what, you don't trust yourself? He's like, no, I don't trust you, cheater. So, he says, you gonna sleep on the cot. He says, okay, well, help me go get it. So then Damon goes to get the cot, leaving Praytel and leaving Ricky there together. So, Praytel takes out his, his beauty products. And, Damon, not Damon, but Ricky kind of gives him a compliment, but then he shades him at the same time about his shit. So then they have a conversation with one another. And, Ricky tells him that before he got there, he got a call from Chris, who told him that he tested positive and he was hysterical, which rightfully so. I mean, that is devastating news. So, I'm happy that Praytel was there in that moment to have a conversation with him, because he tells him, like, so you said that did you have sex with him? He says no, all he did was suck my dick, because he was a power hungry bottom. And Praytel's like, bitch, we are not gonna sit here and bottom shame. Bottom's got it bad enough as it is, and just because they want to have fun don't mean we need to shame them. And he tells him, so have you gotten tested? He says no. He says, well, you do need to get tested, and you need to have a conversation with Damon as well. And Damon comes in, and he has the cot, and they joke with one another. So then we do see them, and they pull up to Frederica's house. So the thing is, they only have 15 minutes to get everything set up, and we see a camera. We see the TV crew out there that was called by, I believe that is Judy's girlfriend. I'm not positive. So at the van, it's Praytel, it's Electra, and it's Blanca. And Electra's asking them, like, so what are we gonna do when the cops show up? And Praytel and Blanca says, we're gonna take the fall for it. She says, absolutely not. I am not, gonna pose for a mugshot in that horrid light. And they grab her like, bitch, come on. She's like, I have on heels. Man, Electra's one bougie ass bitch. So then, they are setting up, putting the getting this condom set around the house. And then there's a white lady that walks up and like, oh shit, somebody's right there. And Electra's like, I got this. So Electra goes up to the woman. She's like, she's good friends with, Federica. They went out for lunch, and Federica told her how much she adores her. She's like, I find that hard to believe. When she said they're good friends, she said, I find that hard to believe. And then when she said that, Federica said that she adored her, she said, oh, bitch, I know you lying now. Because Federica is the worst neighbor I ever had. That bitch could burn. And she says, I'm still calling the cops. And Electra's like, good, call the cops. You should be arrested for wearing that ratty house dress. That ratty house dress. And then she tells her, to run home, Wonder Bread. I said, not Wonder Bread. And she says, take your ugly dog with you. This is not the Yellow Brick Road, bitch. I said, go. In that instance, I was here for Electra. So then we see Pray Tell and Blanca. They are giving an interview to the reporter that is there. And with the interview, they're basically just telling her about, they're just, in this, they're doing the opposite of what the Catholic Church was saying, about abstinence. They're saying that, if you practice safe sex, that can minimize your risk of getting HIV. And, once the interview was over, the reporter tells them, like, you guys make a good team with each other. And they were like, yeah, we do, don't we? We know. So, we're gonna stop here and we're gonna move on. All right, so then at the house, Blanca asked Damon for something. I really wasn't 100% listening to what she asked him for, but he went to his room to go get it. And when he went in his room, there's a half-naked Poppy and a half-dressed Angel there. And then, they were trying to clean up because he caught them off guard. And then a vial fell, and it was the cocaine. He was like, is that coke? And then, Poppy's like, you ain't see shit. And Damon was like, bruh, back up off me and get your hands off me. And he was like, y'all know Blanca will fucking flip out if she knows that y'all have drugs in here. Like, what the fuck are y'all thinking? And he says, coke on top of that cost a whole lot of money. Like, how did y'all come up with this shit? And, they were like, it was a party favor. He says, again, yes, you say it's a party favor, but it comes with a cost. Just what cost is that? So then Angel, she has the vial in her hand and she's at the window and she's like, she drops it. You see? It's gone. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's gone. But if you go to another party, you can get some more coke. Right? Right. So then, she's talking about how she is a BB girl. And, we see them and they are fine. We see them now, they're having dinner. So the kids have cooked dinner for, the elders, which is Electra, Blanca, and Pray Tell. And, Pray Tell was about to give his speech. And Damon, Ricky was like, nah, since we cooked, let us give the speech. And in the speech, what they basically did, they thanked them for not, being there to pick them up. Basically just giving them the tools to show, hey, you can pick yourself up. Like, yeah, you might get knocked down, but you have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off. If you got a cut or scratch, cover that shit up and move on. And so next we see Blanca. Blanca has, once again opened her shop, and she was telling, she had a customer there, and she was telling the customer how Federica, with the case, she wanted to speed the case up because she thought she was gonna win, but when it got to court, Federica lost that fucking case. I'm like, yes, Federica, you lost, bitch. So then we see Federica show up, and Federica is in her feelings, and you might ask yourself, why is Federica in her feelings? Well, Federica's in her feelings because of being humiliated and people thinking she's a bigot, a homophobe, a racist, all things of which she is. So, it's just holding the mirror up to yourself, bitch. That's all it is. So then, she tells Blanca, she's like, you know what? You won. She's like, she wish she talking about how she would admire her if she were, I guess, like a different person, but she would admire Blanca a little bit more if Blanca hadn't, done what she did to her. Humiliated the fuck out of her. And then she threatens Blanca, tells her, this neighborhood is not a good neighborhood. When you lock up, you might want to watch out. And Blanca says, oh, bitch, are you threatening my kneecaps? You threatening my kneecaps, huh? I told her, you might want to watch out too, bitch. Like, I know people that'll fuck you up as well. Even though she probably wouldn't know people, but I'd be like, bitch, I know people too, ho. So then we see, you know, Blanca and Lulu together. And Lulu is just thanking Blanca for everything that she did for her. You know, she said that since after losing Candy, you know, she was really fucked up, and how, you know, she was never really good at expressing her emotions. But after that, it got even worse. And, you know, she says how she was talking about how she was lost before Candy passed away. And then she also ends it on some good news that, you know, she has enrolled herself into community college and she's going back to school to pursue her degree. And kudos to you on that one. You know, it's so funny. I was reading on, I don't use Facebook a lot, but I do get on there every now and again. And I was looking on there today, and it's this generation, the generation, I think they're called Gen Z, I think. The kids that are born from 1990s up until the 2000s, you know, instead of them going to college these days, they're going to trade schools to, you know, offset the cost of having, you know, student loan debts. I'm like, that is really, really fucking smart. Like, I wish I had went. I kind of actually now wish I had went to a trade school, because my ass is in debt to student loans, and like shit. You know, hindsight is 2020. You know, they always say college is not for everybody, which is not. But you know, it's smart. It really is smart. You go to a trade school and you don't have to worry about paying back so much debt that a lot of us who have these degrees, you graduate from college, you get a job. Sometimes it's not in your field, and you end up paying for a degree that you sometimes are not even fucking using. But we're gonna move on. So then we see where do I want to go? Actually, I'm gonna talk about Miss Ford and Angel first, and then we're gonna go to the scene that came before that. So we see Miss Ford. She's at this call that Angel was supposed to be at for, you know, the baby girl, the BB girl. I don't know why I keep want to say baby girl, the BB girl. Now, the call was for 7:30, 7:30. I guess 7:30 at night or morning. I don't remember. I don't know. But Angel, however, is not there. And Angel is what? She's 2 hours late. And I'm like, oh my God, Angel, like, why would you fuck up the opportunity of, I mean, that's an opportunity of a lifetime. Like, why would you fuck that up? So then Angel and Poppy show up, and Miss Ford is like, are you hung over? And yes, Angel was hung over. And, you know, Poppy tried to, you know, make excuses for it. And Miss Ford was like, I'm going to need you to leave. And he went over there to the craft services table. And Miss Ford was just looking at him. He was like, oh, you want me to go? Go. She's like, yes, dip out. So then, you know, she grabs Angel and she takes Angel over, you know, where hair and makeup is. And, you know, she's just telling Angel, like, this is not you. And Angel's like, you don't know me. She's like, oh, yes, I do. Because you told me so much, you know, how you want it, how you want this, how this is your dream. And then you come in here and you fuck. Basically, Angel did fuck it up. One, you were late. Two, you were hung over. Like, if this is something that you want to do, punctuality is everything, number one, and professionalism is everything. So if you I actually, you know, when Top Model used to come on, when the girls used to go on their go sees, it actually makes a lot of sense why Tyra used to always say, don't be on time to go see, be there long before you're supposed to be there, because somebody else could book that job before you even get there. So you always want to be, you know, early. So, that's how I always feel with my life. You know, people always want to say, you know, you can be 5 minutes early somewhere. I don't believe in that whole 5 minutes early. I believe in being somewhere at least 10 or 15 minutes early. If it's somewhere that I don't know anything about, I like to be there at least 10 or 15. I like to be there at least 15 minutes early, so that way I can walk around, familiarize myself with where I need to go, and if I'm, you know, so that way I don't run the risk of being late wherever I'm going. So, you know, that's just my philosophy. That's just how I operate. Like I said, I prefer to be there 10 to 15 minutes early, just so, you know, anything can happen. You know, traffic. You can get, if it's a big place, you can get lost. So that's just me personally, how I feel. But I was just so happy that Miss Ford really, you know, dug into Angel. Like, I think Angel deserved that. I didn't think Miss Ford was hard on Angel at all. Like I really, truly believe she deserved that. And if you guys saw me move, put my hand up here, my phone is at 20%. But we're gonna move on to the scene that I really want to talk about. So it wasn't the last scene, actually. Well, actually, I've got something with Angel. So Miss Ford told hair and makeup to get her ready, and they told her to go get the. She told them to go get the photographer. So the photographer walks up, and I look at the photographer. I'm like, that photographer looks familiar. And then it clicked in my head. I'm like, oh shit, that is a photographer that took those photos, nude photos of Angel, and wanted her to play with herself. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this might not end well for Angel. I'm like, fuck. So now I'm gonna move over to, we see Ricky and we see Pray Tell. This is the 10-day follow-up from when Ricky had his HIV test done, and they told him to come in. And when he said it was a 10-day follow-up and they wanted him to come in, I'm like, ooh, I don't think that this is gonna be good news for Ricky. So Ricky is talking about how it's different for him because the last time he got tested, he had Damon there to hold his hand. So then Pray Tell, he reaches down and he holds his hand, and then he so Ricky called Pray Tell daddy. He says, "Bitch, I ain't your daddy. I might be your elder, but I am not your daddy." He says, "What if I'm in a daddy's?" Pray Tell said, "Oh shit." So then Ricky, he goes in there where I guess the nurse or the nurse is, and she gives him his results, and the results are what I thought they were gonna be. Ricky is HIV positive because she starts asking him about a nurse practitioner. She starts asking him about stuff. And he was like, well, wait, what are you trying to say to me? Or what are you telling me? She was like, you're HIV positive. He's like, could it be, could I have a fever? He said he didn't have the symptoms. She said, a lot of people don't experience the symptoms. So then he walks out of the room, and, he looks at Pray Tell and he says, and Pray Tell goes up there and he hugs him, and Ricky just breaks down in Pray Tell's arms. I'm like, oh my God. I kind of saw that. I really did with Ricky. I saw it coming because of what Ricky was doing last season. When we first met him, he was sleeping around with, all kind of guys without condoms. And then, when him and, so I definitely kind of saw it coming. But you guys, that was the video. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also share the video. And if you guys know people who watch polls, send them on over to the channel and tell them to subscribe to the channel. And, I will see you guys later.